No one noticed Lyra Valen when she first arrived on Outpost Helios 9. That wasn't unusual. Helios 9 was a trade hub at the edge of human coalition space, a place where cargo haulers, mercenaries, diplomats, and refugees all blurred together under the station's dim amber lights. If you wanted to disappear, Helios 9 was perfect. Lyra wore plain synth fabric clothing, kept her dark hair tied back, and spoke with a neutral accent that revealed nothing about her origin. She took a low-level analyst job in the logistics wing and rented a narrow habitation pod overlooking the reactor ring. Ordinary, unremarkable, invisible. That was exactly how she wanted it. For 3 standard cycles, Lyra lived quietly. She analyzed shipping data, optimized cargo routes, and filed reports that earned polite nods but little attention. She ate alone, exercised in off-peak hours, and declined social invitations. Most of the station's inhabitants barely knew her name, except Commander Rax. Rax was not human. He was a Corthian, a towering scaled species known for their military prowess and rigid honor codes. As Helios 9's security chief, he made it his business to know everyone. He noticed patterns. And he noticed Lyra. Humans were chaotic by nature in his experience. Inefficient. Emotional. Yet Lyra's reports were flawless. Not just correct, elegant. She predicted supply shortages weeks before they happened and flagged smuggling routes that intelligence had missed entirely. "You think too far ahead for a junior analyst," Rax told her one day, his deep voice rumbling as she stood in his office. Lyra met his gaze calmly. "I like planning." Rax narrowed his eyes. "Planning is a luxury. Survival is an instinct." "Humans plan to survive," she replied. That answer lingered with him long after she left. The truth was, Lyra was planning for something far larger than cargo flow. Beyond Helios 9, the Orion Fringe was burning. The Velthari Dominion, an ancient expansionist empire, had begun pushing into coalition territory. Their fleets were massive, their technology superior, and their commanders ruthless. One by one, outer colonies fell. Refugees flooded stations like Helios 9, carrying stories of orbital bombardments and forced assimilation. The coalition Senate argued. The military stalled. Humanity, fractured and slow, stood on the brink of annihilation. And Lyra waited. The attack came without warning. Velthari warships emerged from hyperspace on the edge of the system. Sleek, obsidian vessels bristling with energy cannons. Station alarms screamed as Helios 9's meager defenses powered up. Panic spread like wildfire. Rax moved swiftly, barking orders, sealing bulkheads, deploying security teams. He coordinated with Coalition Command, but the response was grim. No reinforcements were coming in time. "We can't outrun them," one officer said. "And we can't outgun them." Rax's claws tightened. "Then we delay them. Buy time for evacuation." That was when Lyra appeared in the command center. She didn't run. She didn't shout. She simply walked in, eyes focused, posture straight. "This station has a quantum relay," she said calmly. "One you've never activated." Rax turned sharply. "That system is theoretical. Classified." "How do you?" "It works," Lyra said. "And it can summon help." The room fell silent. Rax stared at her. "You're an analyst. You shouldn't even know it exists." Lyra exhaled slowly. "Commander, there's no more time for secrets." She stepped forward, her voice steady but powerful. "My name is Lyra Valen of Terra, and my mother is Queen Amara Valen, sovereign of the unified human throne." Gasps rippled through the room. Humans didn't have queens anymore. Not officially. The unified throne was a dormant institution, an emergency authority established centuries ago, meant to awaken only if humanity faced extinction. Most believed it was a myth, a ceremonial relic. Rax's eyes widened. Impossible. The throne has been silent for generations. Because humanity didn't need it, Lyra said. Until now. She moved to the central console and placed her palm against the interface. The station's lights flickered as dormant systems roared to life. The quantum relay is keyed to royal genetic signatures, she continued. I was sent here years ago to observe, to learn, to decide whether humanity was ready to stand united again. Outside, Velthury cannons charged. Inside, history awakened. The relay activated with a thunderous hum, sending a signal across human space, faster than hyperspace, bypassing known physics. It was a call older than the coalition itself. The call of the throne. Minutes stretched like hours. Velthury fighters swarmed closer, tearing into Helios 9's shields. Explosions rocked the station. Hull breaches spread. Then space itself seemed to fold. Human warships emerged by the hundreds, then thousands. They were unlike any vessels the Velthury had encountered, sleek but rugged, modular, bearing insignias from every human faction once divided. At their center was a colossal flagship, its hull emblazoned with a single symbol, a crowned star. Commander Rax felt something unfamiliar tighten in his chest. A human fleet, united. A transmission cut through all channels. This is Queen Amara Valen of the unified human throne. A woman's voice echoed across the system. Velthury Dominion, you have violated human sovereign space. Withdraw immediately, or face consequences. The Velthury hesitated. Then they fired. Humanity answered. The battle was swift and brutal. Where Velthury doctrine relied on overwhelming force, humanity used adaptability. Swarm tactics, sacrificial drones, coordinated strikes between ships that had once been rivals. Human vessels took damage and kept fighting. Crews rerouted power manually, patched hulls with raw plating and pressed on. They didn't fight to conquer. They fought to protect. Within an hour, the Velthury fleet was shattered. Survivors fled into hyperspace, leaving wreckage and silence behind. Helios 9 was saved. In the aftermath, Lyra stood once more in plain clothes, watching repair crews work. Rax approached her slowly. You could have ruled, he said. Instead you hid. Lyra smiled faintly. A queen who doesn't understand her people isn't fit to serve them. Humanity isn't strong because of crowns or thrones. She looked out at the stars, where human ships now patrolled together. We're strong because we endure. We adapt. And when everything else fails, we stand together. Rax bowed his massive head, a gesture of respect rarely given. She seemed ordinary, he said quietly, until she reminded the galaxy what humans truly are. Above Helios 9, the crowned star burned bright once more, not as a symbol of dominance but of unity. And the galaxy would never underestimate humanity again. As the last Velthury ships vanished into hyperspace, Helios 9 drifted in stunned silence. Humanity's fleets held formation, not in triumph, but in quiet resolve. Lyra stood among the officers, once again just another human face in the crowd. Commander Rax watched her closely. You hid among us, he said. You could have ruled from the shadows. Lyra shook her head. Humanity doesn't need rulers to fight, she replied. It needs a reason. Above the station, the united human armada burned like a constellation reborn, fractured worlds standing as one. The galaxy had seen empires rise and fall before. But that day it learned something new. Never mistake a human for ordinary, especially when survival is on the line.